2 years ago, Corgi, and she is very much so my sidekick. I've been with my fiance for 5 years. My fiance does like the dog, but she's currently pregnant and experiencing massive migraines. This has been snapping at everything. So every morning when I get up, I find my fiance already awakened at the table relaxing. As soon as I get out of bed, my dog goes nuts. It's like super energy where she's running sideways, barking up a storm, jumping from the bed to the floor a million times, causing the apartment to shake because it's old as fuck. You gotta move, man! When the dog jumps from the floor to the bed, the whole house shakes. This is a real problem. You living on stilts? You out in the Outer Banks? That's a corgi, man. Anyway, I will sit there and sing made-up songs to her and just fuck around with her. It's pretty noisy and I can be loud. It's just my way of interacting with my pet. I also have ADHD, so I'm fully aware I can be ridiculously loud, and sometimes I forget to tone it down. My fiance has complained about it a few times, and I will absolutely try to tone it down for a while, but as fucked up as it sounds, the second she stops complaining, it's out of sight, out of mind. I start doing it again. I catch myself. I apologize immediately, but sometimes I don't even catch myself doing it. It's so good. Oh. So she has been getting up earlier than normal because she says she needs peace and quiet away from you and the dog because she can't hear herself think when we get up. And then she starts getting migraines and being overall pissed off. But now she is complaining because I can sense her not in the bed anymore, probably after 20 minutes of her being gone and her warmth no longer there. Then I'm wide awake and the dog senses it. And so she's now getting pissed because she thinks I'm purposely not letting her have space and purposely annoying her with my behaviors. I'm not truly, but it seems like it, I guess. I've tried just laying in bed for a while so she can relax, but I get stir crazy. And I also don't feel like I should have to stay in bed so she can be alone when I live there too. Okay, why don't you wake up and take the dog out for a little bit? I don't understand the problem. Yeah, but no. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah. But she flipped this morning. I felt her what a bitch, sneaking out of bed this morning at 5 a.m. Who does she think she is, waking up early at her own discretion to get some alone time? Taking her warmth that I need subconsciously in order to be able to sleep, and I can't just wake up and look at my phone for a little bit because I go stir crazy. I immediately need to wake up and start singing made-up songs to my dog. I watched her sit at the table with her book. While the dog saw me awake and immediately goes ballistic, jumping on the bed, whining, barking. She comes in and says, "Will you guys calm down so I can have time to myself for once?" I just side-eyed her because I'm getting pissed at this point with her demands. She says, "Well," I tell her to get over herself. And just because she's pregnant doesn't mean I have to change who I am or oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, he actually believes that. Oh, no. Oh, sorry. Or change how the household works. Of course it's gonna change how the household works, you fucking idiot. Are you crazy? I mean, you're gonna be introducing a baby into this situation. I'm not saying it has to change in this specific way, but that's madness. Has anybody in history ever said, yeah, we're having a baby, but that's not gonna change anything? Obviously it's gonna change something. You're living with a fucking baby. Are you crazy? It's the most wrong thing you could say there. It's just factually nonsensical. She immediately left after telling me to go fuck myself and won't answer my calls. She's been gone for 6 hours. Am I the asshole? Yeah, but I mean, you gotta give her some alone time. It's not even it's so easy, I guess, to just be she's carrying your child. She's got a hormonal cocktail that's like a roulette table every damn day. Some days it's she's never loved you more. Some days she's get out of my face. The smell of you makes me want to throw up. Okay. So she's going through a lot, but also there's just a level of human, I don't want to say decency, but maybe this is the right word. It's assuming this post is real, which I hate to say that I actually believe that it is, she's doing everything that she can do to get some alone time, you got to get the fuck out of the house like a little bit. Even if you don't want to, like you got to, cuz there's no other option. She's going to go crazy. Like okay, how about 5 a.m. is a little early, okay? I'll admit. But maybe she's waking up at 5 a.m. because she wants some alone time. Maybe she could get up at 6 a.m. You could get up with her and you could take the dog for a walk. That sounds nice. A nice brisk morning walk with your best friend. You probably don't want to be outside for like 2 hours. I'm sure you got other stuff going on at the same time. But like, at least give her like a little bit of time. Just in general, you shouldn't have, until you have the kid, you shouldn't be waking up at 5 a.m. to have some solo time. Like that's, to have gone to that measure to begin with is crazy. The fact that she did that rather than tell you to fuck off earlier, like, makes her a bit of a saint, honestly. It's just, I don't know. I just don't understand. I don't want to say, like, why do you hate your fiance so much? But it's just like, I don't know. I just, like, can you do anything? It's like you've literally tried nothing. Like, you're like, here's the, okay, I know you could say I could just, like, lay in bed for an hour and that would be relaxing, but I get bored. Okay, so fucking, like, be bored. Look at your phone or something. I don't know. Or like train yourself to go back to sleep. It might take you a couple of days, but do it. Like, it's like, I know, hey, my fiance is telling me like she's gonna leave me if I don't make any effort to change my behavior, but it's tricky. It's like I can understand why like she's extremely upset. I just hate when any post is like, the post is like, am I the asshole for being hungry? And then the top comment is like, info. Why won't you eat? And then the post is like, I don't feel like it. Oh, you think I haven't thought of that? I'll have you know, I have food in the house, but none of it is really exactly what I want right now. Like I know you're saying, why can't I just sleep a little longer? I get a little stir crazy. Like, I know this is the most annoying thing to hear, but like, can't you just close your eyes? Like, ask it right now. It's what? It's 10:07 a.m. If you said close your eyes for an hour and lay down, my ass would be like, no, officer, are you crazy? But at 5 a.m., if I woke up a little bit and then someone was like, close your eyes for an hour, I'd be like, see you in an hour. See you in 59 minutes. That's the easiest time to go back to sleep. It's right when you're supposed to be waking up. But I still think you should just wake up at 6 a.m. and take the dog for a walk. Also, like, no disrespect, but you guys are, like, fucked. Adding a baby into this dynamic. You got to fix this shit, like, ASAP. Because the first 3 months of having that baby, you were going to go ape shit. Like... Because it's everything you've got now, but on like ultra hard permadeath mode. It's not like that hard to raise a baby, I think. It's just like, it's constant work, but it's not like at any point they're like, quick, answer like a skill testing question. You just got to be like on it and accept that you're going to be tired for a while. But like, you're already fucked and you haven't even hit start game yet. Like, try this situation, but also she's recovering from the pregnancy and she's nursing up to 12 times per day, including like 4 to 5 times overnight. Let's see how much you miss her warmth when her ass is breastfeeding at 11:30, 1, 1:40, 4, 5:20, 5:37, 6:10, 7 and 7:03, and then the baby's waking up. Let's see how you feel about it then. And you're in bed like, oh, I had a really rough night. I can't really sleep that well when you're breastfeeding our baby. What do you like? You got to do something. You got to handle the dog at the very least. You're the asshole. This mindset is how women get branded as nags. What? I don't know. What does it have to do with anything? He's literally just a guy. I mean, I went off on him, but he's just a guy. He didn't call his wife a nag. He just told her to get over herself. Which is probably like in the same ballpark. OP sounds like the most annoying asshole in existence. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably true. You think this morning routine is going to be helpful once the baby's born? You're loud every single morning and not caring about the physical distress of a person growing a new human in her body. A new human that I'll assume is also... Why would you write it like that? You fucking dick. That I assume is also yours. But you seem like a bad guy, so she probably cheated on you and let the other guy finish inside of her. You don't know anything about their situation. Like, that's just rude at this point, okay? Like, I get the little devil on your shoulder wants to get the own in there, but it says more about you than it does about OP in this situation. That's where your head jumps to. You're the asshole. Your noise is literally causing your fiance. Okay, but you're the asshole because you put the accent aigu on fiance. That makes, unless you're from Quebec or France, that makes you the asshole in this situation. I'm sorry. Yeah, also, it's supposed to have a second E. You lost your E. Where's your E with an accent circumflex? Anyway, get up and take your dog outside to play. Also, train your dog before the baby is born. It's all true. Why am I so mad that I'm agreeing with Reddit? I don't know. Nobody's even addressed how incredibly rude this is to not only the GF, but also his neighbors. Well, you know, listen. They knew what they signed up for when they moved into an apartment where a single dog jumping up and down causes the whole building to shake. Anyway, I think we all agree that this guy is in the wrong here and also is trying nothing but is all out of ideas. You're in for, if this is real, you're in for a rude awakening. I'm telling you, man. Because it's going to get a lot harder. Dude, you should start running Am I the Assholes through Chat GPT-3. I'm the asshole for criticizing how my girlfriend takes job interviews. She basically interviews them, and I feel like she isn't taking it seriously. By the way, I don't want to get too much into the hockey stuff this weekend. Canucks fired their coach in like the rudest way possible, but then also they hired a new coach and 2 assistant coaches. When they were doing the press conference, they said assistant coach B is always just a Zoom or a phone call away. This motherfucker's living out of the... He's in like a different time zone. He's our assistant coach. My man's working from home right now. I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know you could have like your defensive coach is going to be on like Microsoft Teams or something like that. We're screwed, dude. We're toast. Oh, he's a defensive coordinator. Okay, and then normally people would be like, why do we care about the defensive coordinator? Oh, because it's Sergei Gonchar. He was a really good defenseman, and the team's getting a lot of bad press right now. Our defense is horrible. Let's hire someone to do a role who used to be a very good defenseman themselves. That should solve it. Does he live here? No big deal. Anyway, my man's he's coaching the metaverse right now. My girlfriend is at a job she can't do remotely, and we're planning to move to another state together, so she's job hunting right now. Her first job interview, she had a call with a top company whose recruiter had messaged her on LinkedIn. I was expecting her to treat it normally, but she spent an hour grilling the company on its engineering practices, then withdrew her application. In the next few calls with companies she had, she basically grilled them all and decided against moving forward with 4 of the 6. This is good, right? I've never had to interview for like a serious job. Just jobs where basically they ask you insane questions and then they're like, okay, here's, like a keyboard and a broom. If you have actual qualifications, you're supposed to be choosy, right? You're not just supposed to take whatever the first job that shows interest in you is. You're supposed to ask questions, make sure you're being fairly compensated, your job description is appropriate, maybe you're aligned with the company vision, what's the corporate culture like? Do you guys give like stock compensation, or is it more the kind of thing like after a good quarter, everybody gets a water bottle or something like that? I told her around then, I feel like she's making a mistake being so picky. She's going to ruin her reputation in the industry if she's going around taking interviews and cutting off the process entirely. She said she wasn't making any enemies. Hell, the company she dropped had been emailing and calling constantly, wanting to bring her in for another interview and asking her to reconsider. If anything, she was a hotter commodity. I felt like she was probably hurting her reputation long term, even if her little power play was working. I don't think it's a real post. I'm sorry to say I don't think it's a real post. Just something about power play that got me. It triggered my fake post radar. She said it wasn't a power play. It was professional. She didn't want to waste anyone's time, but the next interview I overheard started a big argument. One of her final two companies had her taking a Zoom interview, and she was laughing it up with an interviewer, and he was telling her this story about how he and the coworkers fell off a barge into the river working on a project, and she was just like, wait, they had y'all doing that, not tied off to anything? Look, as funny as that is, that's honestly kind of fucked up. They put you all in danger like that. I'm going to have to withdraw my application. She got off the phone and said, damn, people really tell on themselves if you just listen and smile. Did you hear that shit? Why has she got such a potty mouth? She's so crass with her swear words. I got nothing against her. She can say whatever she wants. It's just like, you just chill out a little bit. She's just talking like a sailor, man. I could fix her. And I said I thought she ended it a little prematurely, like didn't even ask if they changed anything, just ended the call. I said it felt like she was trying to delay getting a new job. Was she getting cold feet? She said, no, this is how people at her level interview. She was serious about the interview process. She wasn't interested in walking into a shit show. I said that was BS. She was sabotaging herself on purpose, basically haranguing the companies who wanted to hire her on the phone. And she was like, why do they keep coming back for more then? Like, I'm critical, but I'm not wrong and they know it. We had this big fight where she insisted that anyone who was at her level of career interviewed by interviewing companies to see whether they were worth her time just as much as the other way around. And I said, that's BS. She got mad that I was telling her about her own career and said she knew better. Am I the asshole for arguing with my girlfriend about her interviews? She says she's interviewed. Yeah, I think, why are you, like, I don't understand. We don't even need to go in the comments because they're going to be hanging you out to dry, man. But, like, I mean, it just seems kind of, like, boring. It just, I don't think that she did anything wrong, assuming this is actually real. I'm not going to do another child-free wedding post, okay? Because they're all the same, but this one got me good. I, 22F, am getting married soon. Since my fiance and I are child-free, we plan to have alcohol at our wedding. We decided to have a child-free wedding with the age cutoff at 21. As you all know, if you have children at a wedding, it's not possible to serve alcohol. Also, like, get over yourself. You're 22. Child-free wedding? You're the child. Look in the mirror. My ass 18 trying to go to the wedding, but I can't go. No! Am I the asshole for calling my brother and sister-in-law rude guests for removing the decorative pillows my wife put in the guest room? Can't be a real post. No husband would be upset at removing decorative pillows from the bed. That's like one of the first things you do when you are staying in a guest room. You take off all the pillows that they put on there to make the bed look nicer. I don't know, and I don't know why we're buying them. There's too many pillows. When I stay at my parents' place, it's crazy. I'm a one pillow guy, and if you're two, no problem. Okay, I think that's well within the spectrum of normalcy. My parents' house, they do like a body pillow, but it's like horizontal over near the headboard. And then they stack two pillows on top of each side of the body pillow. So now already I'd be sleeping with my neck at like a 170 degree angle or something. And then they throw like some HomeSense like decorative pillows in front of those pillows, and then the cylindrical pillow that's like it goes, I think, on your lumbar or something like that. It's just too much. So the first thing you do is you strip the body pillow, you throw it on the floor because there's no place for it because all the chairs have pillows on them too. And then you take two of the pillows and you throw them so you got one pillow on each side. And then you throw the cylinder, you roll it under the bed or something like that. It's just too much. Five pillows minimum? You're crazy, man. I'm a one pillow guy. It seems perfect. I mean, I only have one head. Two is for sitting up. Well, this is what we got chairs for. We got chairs, sofas, bar stools, beds, toilets. Like, there's too much shit to sit on. 4 pillows, Jeremy. I'll say it every time. Is 0 pillows psycho mode? Well, it's a little crazy, but like my kid doesn't sleep with a pillow. We have it in the crib, but she's just laying flat. Have you ever slept in 0G? What the hell are you asking me if I've ever been to outer space for like a long enough to actually sleep? What kind of question is that? It's crazy. Have I ever slept on the Superman Man of Steel roller coaster? In a 0G position? What does that mean? What does that mean? 0G position? Just answer the question? I don't know what it means. One pillow's the same vibe as no mattress cover? I assure you is not. I mean, no mattress cover is degenerate. College style, like mattress on the floor, no mattress cover. That shit is disgusting. Now, I did it for like 3 years, but that's gross. There's not like one pillow is not like, oh, I'm too lazy to get more pillows. I'm like, this shit is like the height of comfort for me. Three pillows, side sleeper. One for my head, one to put between my knees, and one to hold on to. Listen, that's you do you, okay? I guess I'm more of a low maintenance sleeper than I thought. If I have one, and I'll tell you another thing, this will blow your mind. We also just run one duvet. We got so it's box spring, the bed frame, mattress, top sheet on the mattress, like a fitted sheet, duvet with the duvet cover on top of it. One pillow for me, one pillow for Kate. That's it. It's nice. No sheet? Okay, you got to be careful. When you say no sheets, that's like a stripped mattress. We have no sheet in the sense that we don't have like one thin little blanket that you get under, and then you go, oh, that's not nearly enough warmth, and then you put the duvet on top, and you go, oh, that's too warm, and then you just sort of like leave one toe outside. Ooh, but I can't. What if a monster eats my foot? Pull it back in. Just one duvet. We're low maintenance. Living that Marie Kondo life. I think the sheet is probably the most overrated of all the blankets, in my opinion. The duvet is a must-have. Nothing triggers my anxiety like the default iPhone ringtone. I feel like I'm in a movie commercial or a movie trailer. Like, I'm about to watch Aaron Eckhart answer a Bluetooth headset while he's driving. Anyway, Yeah, am I the asshole for calling my brother and sister-in-law rude guests for removing the decorative pillows my wife put in the guest room? Right here. My brother and sister-in-law moved in temporarily. They're staying in the guest room, as is appropriate. So far, we've been on the same page concerning all things except the decorative pillows. Let me stop you right there. Then you're on the same page with respect to everything. Assuming that you're going to agree with everybody on absolutely everything is a fool's gamble. What you do is you have a copacetic living arrangement. When they go home, they're going to be like, and oh my God, all these fucking pillows. What were they thinking with all those pillows? And then when they go home, you're going to be like, and I can't believe, like, it was a little much for them to just throw those nice pillows on the ground, right? Like, when you're together, it's 99.999% copacetic. And then when you leave, you talk a little bit of smack about that one thing. And then that's the release valve that then allows you to get together and have fun later. In my opinion, at least. My wife loves adding decorative pillows on beds, and she did the same in the guest bedroom. She did it to make the room look better, and also it's her preference. She came to me complaining about seeing the decorative pillows in the guest room being put on the floor and not being put on the bed during the day. No, I'm sorry, I'm not reading this. It's just not worth it. It's not worth the time, quite frankly. Too boring, probably made up. Nobody cares. If my diagnosis is you have to get a life. Who cares? You care more about your pillows than you do about another human being that's a part of your family. Now this one was specifically requested. I think there's a lot of meat on this one. I like it. Am I the asshole for not making extra pancakes for my niece? I woke up at 5 a.m. craving pancakes while on vacation with my in-laws, so I decided to quickly make myself and my son some since we were the only ones awake besides my husband who doesn't eat pancakes. I do want to say there's a little sub you are the asshole here. I don't know what time your in-laws wake up. If we had people over and they were sleeping in our guest room and they started clanging around stainless steel bowls at 5 a.m., I wouldn't kick them out, but I would be like, you couldn't. There's like, when you have kids, I feel like 6:30 is like a reasonable time to be like, morning. 5 is still way before the realm of like being able to make noise. 5 is wake up, look at your phone if you can't go back to sleep. You can't be up at 5 a.m. clanging around with like a whisk in a bowl and then making good smells and stuff like that. So, I mean, 6:30 is early, don't get me wrong, but like sometimes if you got little kids and they're up, what are you going to do? You like talking to your 18-month-old, go back to sleep. Go get the fuck back to, excuse me, stop crying. It's rude. It's rude to cry. Like you can't, there's nothing you could really do at some point. So I think if we invited someone over and they stayed overnight and they had like a 2-year-old, their 2-year-old got up at 6, I would be like, what are you going to do? But I would definitely lock my door because I don't want them getting their hands stuck in the flywheel of the Peloton on my 45-minute Sam Yo classic rock ride. It'd be like a scene from Wild Wild West. Because I don't want to have to pause. Because if you pause, they delegitimize your leaderboard position. They still have your output stats and stuff like that, but instead of ranking you on the leaderboard, they give you a little dash. Because they're like, I know you had to pause. You could have been pausing to go get some glycogen or something like that. It wouldn't be fair to the other people on the leaderboard. Anyway, so I'm just saying it's a little early. 5 a.m. cooking is a little early at someone else's house. You can do whatever you want in your own house, okay? My sister-in-law's daughter, that is your niece, yes, came downstairs just as my son. I just don't know why you wouldn't say niece there, because she is your niece. It doesn't matter whether she's your sister-in-law or your sister, but regardless. She came downstairs just as my son was finishing up and started crying because there were no more pancakes for her. I did try to comfort her, but I have really bad morning sickness after I eat and was starting to feel sick, so I had to take her to her parents who were still sleeping. Long story short, My sister-in-law was upset I only made pancakes for myself and my son when there were others in the house who needed to eat breakfast. She said I was selfish and I should have known my niece would have wanted some too, so I could have made extra just in case. Am I the asshole? So originally, when I looked at this, I said, of course they're the asshole. You don't really make pancakes for two. That's one of those things, it's like you make like a big bowl of the batter and then you just cook them until there's no batter left. So I thought this was like cut and dry, they're the asshole. But then someone on the subreddit made a good point, which is like they're cooking this breakfast at 5 a.m. How do they know that, a kid's going to wake up at 5:45 or 6 or 8 or 11? So like you can't just pre-make the pancakes and then throw them in the microwave. They're going to be horrible, That's not what you want when you're craving pancakes. What they should have done for sure is you make the batter and make a lot extra, depending on how many people are there. You cover it with plastic wrap, you put the batter in the fridge, and then you do when the next group of people wake up, you put the pancake batter onto the griddle and you make them some fresh pancakes. That's the way it should have gone down. I don't think it makes them an asshole for only making pancakes for themselves and their child at 5 a.m. If it was 9 a.m. and like everybody was awake and they said, no, I'm just making pancakes for me and my child, like that's extreme asshole. For sure. But also, I forgot about the contingency of they're pregnant and maybe just had like a pregnancy craving. Doesn't mean you're not the asshole, but you get off a little lighter in the sentencing a little bit. Regardless, I don't think they're a bad person. I think it was maybe a little thoughtless, but if there's ever a time to prioritize your own interests over someone else's, it's probably when you're pregnant. She could have kept the batter in the fridge, though. That's what I would say. How old was the niece? Dude, what if it's the mom from Jay Willie's who starts crying when she gets sourdough bread instead of a hamburger bun? It's really hard right now. Because you wake up and you smell the pancakes and you hear that delicious sizzle, and then when you come down, there's no pancakes. She did wake the parents up you say for no reason. I don't know, like, again, maybe this is too far. People may not agree, but I feel like if your kid wakes up when you're still asleep and then causes a scene, that's your responsibility. I'm not saying there's not something that the OP could have done to placate the situation. But like, if your kid is starting to cry, then that's your responsibility. That's your alarm clock. I don't think you get to play the like, oh, I was sleeping card. It would have been nice if, imagine if my kid woke up an hour before me, and then I went into their room and they weren't in there. I'd be like, oh shit. And then I went downstairs and she was eating some fresh pancakes that my sister-in-law cooked for her. I'd be like, whoa, thank you for the solid. That's incredible. But if I heard my kid crying and then she woke me up and I was like, you asshole, I was still asleep, I'd be like, well, that's can't really be like that as your kid. When your kid wakes up, you're at least at a certain age, you're waking up. That's the way of the world. You're the asshole. My question is, how did you manage to only make pancakes for 2 people? Whenever I make them, I can easily feed 6 kids. Edit. Forgot a verdict. Okay, I mean, again, I think that's a reasonable take, but simultaneously, I do need to say that it's a timing-based thing. If this happened at 8 a.m., I think it's a different verdict than if it happened at 5 a.m. Not the asshole. I'm shocked another mother got upset at a pregnant mom who got up, made pancakes for her and those that were awake at the time, and then got too sick with morning sickness to make... Thank you! I think that's where I've come down. I'm not the asshole, and not even everybody sucks here. I think this is almost like a nobody sucks here. In this situation, one would make a large... I love this. Bicentennial man giving his verdict. In this situation, one would make a large batch of batter knowing others will want some as they get up. I can't imagine not doing this. I don't know if I'm just a little weird, but like, if I went to, maybe I have no self-esteem. If I went to my in-laws' place and they cooked waffles for everybody else and they said, "Oh, Ryan, sorry, we're out of waffle batter. Here's a granola bar." I'd be like, "Fucking sick, granola bar. Thank you so much." There's other alternatives. I could have been starving. You could have let me starve to death or something. I'm definitely not the kind of person where, like, if someone is, if like one person is like, "Can I have a waffle?" Then all of a sudden I'm like, well, if my niece gets a waffle, then I'm getting a waffle too. You're not a little kid. True. You got me with that one. So you hate pancakes then? That's a whole new sentence. Like, I'm very much not a believer in the, "Did you bring enough for the rest of the class?" That's fucking crazy. Anytime I'm hungry, if I want to eat, I have to bring 30 snacks. If you want me to bring enough for the rest of the class, they should make the classes like 6 times smaller. That's crazy. How about you don't even worry about what other people are eating. You eat when you want to eat, and then when other people are eating, you don't feel like you're entitled to have exactly the same food as them. This shit is just weird. One person in class is eating an Oreo. Why are we normalizing the idea that you should be able to have the food that everybody else, that one other person is having? Maybe one person in class is, didn't eat breakfast or something like that. They got to eat a Nature Valley granola bar. They shouldn't have to provide 30 Nature Valley granola bars. Everybody else had some Captain Crunch for breakfast. They can keep their eyes on the damn chalkboard. That being said, I don't think kids should be allowed to go to the bathroom whenever they want. I think they will take advantage of it. In school, at home, whatever. That's the parents' decision. I think your bathroom privileges should be tied to your GPA. If you got a 4.0, you can go to the bathroom whenever you choose. I don't think you're going to jeopardize your education just to fuck off. If you got like a 3, you can go to the bathroom, no questions asked, once a day. But as soon as you use your once a day bathroom pass, you have to ask the next time. It doesn't mean you can't go. It just means the next time you're really 2 bathroom trips? Okay. And if you got a 2.0, you got to ask every time. I'm sorry. Now, the teacher can use their discretion. Maybe they have a 2.0 for things that are outside of their control, like IBS. Maybe they have a 2.0 because they're doing dumb shit like, "Oh, I'm bored with this class. I'm going to go, like smoke a cigarette in the boys' bathroom," or something like that. In which case, you got to leave it up to the teacher's discretion. Sometimes they might say, "Go ahead," just because they're sick of looking at you. What about 1.0? I didn't even know that was I thought 2 was as low as it goes. What is a 1? Wait, can you have under a 1 then? Is a 0 like you average a D minus? F is 0. I thought F would be in the negatives. We didn't really do GPA in Canada too much. In university we did, but in high school we didn't. We just averaged our grades rather than coming up with some kind of quarterback rating composite that doesn't make inherent sense. GPA is averaging your grades? Oh, so you got like a 4? In 11th grade English class, you got a 4? No, you didn't. You got fucking like a 97 or something like that. 4 is an A? Why don't you just use the number? It's the Celsius Fahrenheit shit again. People are like, it just makes sense. It's not because I learned it and grew up using it. Like, you could use like the real number, but it just makes more sense to like convert the letter grade into a number first. It's the average of the letters? The hell are you talking about? Don't they, when you get like a chemistry test, your teacher doesn't look at the test and go, this feels like an A, and then puts an A on it. They fucking go, there's 100 questions. They got 91 of them right. Here's an A with a 91 written next to it. Why don't you just say, like, my GPA is 91? They legit do write a number? Yeah, but not, I know they write like a 0 to a 4. I'm just saying. Why convert the number, which was the percentage of the test that you got right, to a letter, and then convert that letter back to another number? Because it makes sense. I got a 96, which is an A, which converts to a 4. No, you didn't. You got a 96. It's just weird to me. Because before computers, it would be annoying to do the math for 400 kids. Bro, they're the ones doing the math. If it's annoying to look at the grades that 400 fucking kids got, it's way more annoying to take those 400 fucking grades and every time they get a grade on something, convert it to a letter and then convert it to a fucking number. It doesn't make sense. Why don't you just use them? But Fahrenheit makes more sense because like 0 is like cold and 100 is like hot. Celsius is like, whoa, I don't even know what I'm looking at. Whoa, what's hot? 30? Weird. I don't think I could get used to that in fucking half a second. Doesn't make any damn sense. Water freezes at 0 and boils at 100? Bitch, I'm not a glass of water. I'm a guy. I'm a man. I'm 40. I know how to use decimal points. Fahrenheit has more resolutions? What the hell are you? That's such a Dan comment. Fahrenheit has higher resolution. Anyway, this Pancakes, I think we said our piece on the pancake one. There's nuance there. Some nuance. Would I be the asshole for suing my DIL? What the hell is that? Dad-in-law? Daughter-in-law? That makes way more sense. I don't know, I've never seen it like that. Oh, no. Am I the asshole for forgetting to lock the door a few times a month? Am I the asshole for leaving the stove on when I leave the house now and then? Like, they're saying, like, fucked up shit. Like, oh, you could have, like, burned down our whole fucking house with us inside of it. But, like, I didn't do that. I just left the stove on. I feel like I'm being unnecessarily maligned here. Hi, Reddit. Boy, I was hoping to never have an issue to put here. But I really need some perspective on this one. I come from a family that only sometimes locked our doors, so it was never really ingrained in me to keep the door locked at all times. My wife, on the other hand, came from a family where the norm was to lock everything, get a camera. So it's always a value judgment, isn't it? It's always like, I don't need to do that because that would mean that I am expressing a precaution. And expressing a precaution means that I'm afraid. And I vowed never to be afraid of anything, even of shit that's scary and can be mitigated by just going click. I'm not living my life in fear. I just choose not to be afraid of the other stuff that other people get out in front of with a modicum of... I don't know. You get the idea. They're paranoid, though? My ass when I'm paranoid? That's me locking the door. My ass when I'm paralyzed by fear? And hold on, I forgot it. Listen, I don't want to be disingenuous. I forgot about this part. Tuck, tuck. That's where you check the handle to make sure you actually locked it. Just hyper concerned about safety in all ways. As a result, in the beginning of our relationship, I rarely locked our doors, and she always did. It gave her a lot of anxiety, especially because we're living in a rough neighborhood at the time. Since then, I've done my best to keep up with locking the doors. We have since moved to a great apartment in a very safe neighborhood, and although I'm a forgetful person, I have been remembering I lock our door 8 to 9 times out of 10. Still working on it, though. It immediately seems like you're not really working on it. It seems like you want it to be fixed, but you don't want to, because you didn't buy into the mission statement, which is that it's just a good thing to lock your door so that, like, if you get robbed, you're like, at least I did what I could. Like, if I didn't lock my door and then maybe it's not, like, legally fair to say this. If I left my house, didn't lock my door, and came back and all my shit was gone, I would be like, yeah, my fault. At least in some way, that's my fault. What was I expecting? If I locked it and I came back and all my shit was stolen, I'd be like, I am a victim of a crime. I have been targeted by a cat burglar. I have been burgled. There is a heist here. If I didn't lock my door, I'd be like, well, if I really liked that TV, I would have taken the extra second. I'm not saying it means you should be robbed. I'm simply saying that it's like you could have done more to stop it. You could have done literally the bare minimum. Is victim blaming? Giga Chad, yes. Like sometimes the victim needs a little bit of the blame. Not in all situations, but the idea that you should never pass any blame to a victim is crazy. If my ass gets like insanely drunk and then goes driving and crashes into like a telephone pole and dies, I'll be like, well, maybe you shouldn't have been drunk driving. Can't blame the victim. Who put the telephone pole there? They should make telephone poles that have a breakable bottom and then a sturdy top so that in this situation, you aren't the victim in that situation? I'd be dead. The telephone pole was the victim. All the people who lose internet access as a result. Anyway, the point is he hasn't been robbed yet. I don't understand. I know we go through this once a month. Why do people not lock their doors? When, like, they spend so much time justifying not doing a task that takes less than 1 second, and they say insane stuff like it adds up. It literally doesn't. They're pennies. They're gone. They're gone. It takes more time to aggregate the time saved than it does to do the thing that would cost you the time in the first place. It's like saying, I never put on my seatbelt when I drive my car because it takes 2 seconds to click it into the latch. Like, and you know what? Don't even start with me. What is it with taxis when you get in them? Why is the latch always the wrong way? You're always trying to put the seatbelt into the latch and you're like, it's not going in right. Then you got to reach in between the damn seat cushions, pull it out, flip it 180, and doesn't make any damn sense. Anyway, I just forget. That's fine. Like, if you forget to do something, I can't be, like, that mad at you. It's more like, if you forget to do it, and then I'm like, can you please lock the door? And you're like, well, I don't live my life in fear. I'd be like, well, okay, then fucking, I don't know, go jump off a bridge or something then, brave guy. Why are you only brave when it comes to being lazy? Why is it never like, I'm brave, I'm going to go out and be like a volunteer firefighter because I'm not afraid of danger? It's always some shit that's like, I'm not going to look at the new food pyramid because everything kills you anyway. Nom, 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 nom. It's always like to justify a behavior that you already enjoy instead of to justify actually doing something noble. Like Canadian, I don't know, it was a university. They did like a meta study of the harmful effects of alcohol, and they said no amount of alcohol in any quantity is safe. If you want to be as safe as possible, a maximum of 2 drinks a week. People who have never even left their hometown were like, 2 drinks? Come on, science. Could you have at least made it something that was reasonable? And you're like, that's the science, man. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's not like they were like, we hate people who drink. Let's make this number really small. Instead, they were like, here's the number. And people were like, yeah. And then in 1971, you told me eggs were bad for me. And then in 1978, you told me eggs are good for me. So, like, you think I'm going to believe that? You can, like, know it's poison and still drink it anyway. You could look at that news and say, like, damn, that sucks. And then, like, modify your behavior or not modify your behavior. You don't have to be like, oh, the scientists are wrong. What do you know about science, moron? They did the fucking work. You're just like, that doesn't sound right to me because it's uncomfortable to hear. Anyway. I'm just saying. Since then, I've done my best to keep up with locking the doors, and I succeed 85% of the time. Unfortunately, my wife's anxiety about our safety has just been getting worse. She says she has night terrors and can't handle worrying if the door is locked. It's awful she feels this way, and I want to help her out. But the thing is, it's hard to remember sometimes. It's awful she feels this way. I want to help her out. I'm just struggling to see and understand why this situation is provoking such an emotional response. I'm struggling to see why your ass is so annoyed that she's annoyed that you can't lock the door. Like, she's got night terrors. All your ass has to do is go like this. Can't you just set like an alarm or, I don't know, just not be looking at your phone when you leave your house for 2 seconds so you can lock the door? Like, that's how you build a habit. Put like a Post-it note next to the door or something. Get an electric lock, a smart lock or something. Extra info. My wife and I live in a newly developed gated community on the 3rd floor of our apartment building in the very back. 0 crimes since we've lived here. I take the dogs out every night, so I'm the one locking the door. We have a new puppy that needs to go out every 4 hours. And it's the 4 a.m. walks when I am most likely to forget to lock the door. Listen, I'm not going to do the thing that you're doing, which is basically being like, crime doesn't exist because you're fucking stupid. Like, that's just wrong. You probably are less likely to be a victim of like a home invasion on the 3rd floor of an apartment building in a gated community. That makes perfect sense to me. That doesn't mean that somebody can't, on your floor, can't have like a psychotic episode and go around checking all the doors, find one that's open and come into your house and fucking kill you. Like, this shit, people are going crazy in their apartments all the time. They don't have the threat. The danger could be coming from within the house. It doesn't have to be just from outside. So regardless, like, we've lived in situations like this, not in gated communities, but either way, my ass would not sleep as well if the door was not locked. But, I mean, to be fair, what I would do is I would be in bed, and then I would be like, did I lock the door? And then if I was like, I don't know if I did, I would just get up and check the door. But I understand at 4 a.m., that's kind of like, it's a bigger ask than when you're just going to bed. I'm just saying. Yeah, someone could break into the building and then, like, listen, these are like infinitesimal risks. Don't get me wrong. Someone could hold the door open for someone in your building that doesn't actually live there. They could get in the elevator, and just start cranking on doors, okay? It's crazy. Now, you might be saying the risk of that is insanely low. That's true. But the cost to protect yourself at least a little bit is even lower. Is literally just going like this. Katunk. That's it. Also, like, why don't you just lock the damn door because she asked you to? Because, you got to save some of your energy for some battles that actually matter. My wife has a certain way she likes me to load the stuff into the dishwasher. And listen, I'm not trying to make this a plebiscite on the issue. I always loaded the dishwasher. Like when you load the cutlery, you put the tip of the knife down into the dishwasher so that when you open it up, you don't accidentally like put your hand on it and like slice your palm open. Okay? The forks go down, the spoons go down, etc., etc. We started living together. She told me, no, 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 that's not the right way. The tips go up, the tip of the spoon goes up, etc., etc. I said, I don't think that's true. She said, I think it is. I said, you know what, you're right. And it's been a solved issue ever since. Because it doesn't matter at all. Doesn't matter in the slightest. And so we're getting a lot of she's right, she's wrong. Hey, I do it no matter what, I win. Because I do it the way she told me to. Actually insane? I don't know. I'm just saying, if it's a relatively simple thing and you're not married to the concept, you should put your spouse's interest ahead of yours if she is married to the concept. Like, if my wife was like, hey, can you lock the door? I have night terrors, and I was like, I don't really feel like it, I would think that that would make me the asshole. At the same boat, if I was like, you know, if I really needed something done a certain way, and she was like, that's not the way I do it, I'd be like, well, it gives me anxiety to see it done this way. I think she would be like, okay. In her head, she might be like, this is the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life, but that's the price you pay. When has that happened? Well, I'm still waiting for the first time. I leveraged some marriage goodwill today. Because you know what? I have this $20 bill on my desk. Not to brag. She came into my office and just pulled the bill off my desk. And I said, whoa, what are you doing? And she said, you're not using it. I said, yeah, there's lots of money in our bank account that's been there for a while too that I haven't used. But that doesn't mean we're just going to spend it. And she says, seriously? And I say, yeah, give it back. Just because it's just nice to have like a little spare cash. Because you never know, again, when the Canadian oligopoly for telecommunications is going to go down and you're going to need a $20 bill to, you know, tip somebody or, you know, buy lunch or something like that. Like, it's an emergency fund for if the solar flare hits the earth or something like that. Like, it's not just on my desk for someone to come in and be like, oh, $20, I'll just take it because you're not using it immediately. I could do something with that. And you know what? While I'm looking at it, it's bringing me pleasure. $20. Get a nice lunch with that for sure. Buy some groceries. Who knows? Who knows? It brings me pleasure just to see it. So you can't, it's not here just to be pilfered, you know? Anyway, you should be able to put cash in your Google Wallet. How would that make sense? I don't know. They got smart people working there still. They should figure it out. Am I the asshole for putting a bag of dog poop in a stranger's trash can? My initial hunch from the headline is, on principle, yes, you shouldn't use somebody else's trash can for your trash. In practice, does it really matter? Like, did something happen? Like, why would you care if someone put their garbage into your garbage? There's a little bit of their garbage into your garbage can. If it like overflowed or spilled or something like that, it's a different story. Or if it was a clean trash can and I was bringing it in and then there was a fresh bag of dog poop in there, I'd be a little annoyed for sure. At least they're picking it up though.